Yes, sir. Was there? Hey, hey, we here.
We are
Well,
here. We're live.
yeah, no, I got to do it like regular for the first time. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz on the right of me or the left of me, depending on what you see.
Don't go Mark on us now, because
we gotta. This is a very special show, so we had to get a very special guest who helped put a lot of this shit together for us tonight. Our guy, my man, MC, what's happening?
I was feeling good at first, but this comment section is just unbelievable. These ones in here, come on, y'all. We're better than this.
Come on now.
We're better than this, y'all. Come on now.
The fucking ones up. This is a rock fan, man. We ain't trusting that.
What?
This is monumental.
Mm-hmm.
You playing something in the background?
It's the New York City streets. You know, the New York City streets just playing a random assortment of songs. It's just gonna happen no matter what hours of the day. People make their noise complaints.
It's a monumental show because it's A Show 250. For 250 weeks, me and Meelz have brought you guys a lot of content. We brought you guys a lot of really awesome moments, a lot of great guests, a lot of funny moments, a lot of contentious moments, a lot of serious moments. But in the 250 weeks that we've done this show, I think that we've really blazed a path that like not a lot of people have done. And this is just concurrent. Like we've just done it every single week. I mean, between us, you could probably count on your fingers how many shows that we've missed. I think it is 5 between the both of us.
Nah, it's got to be more than 5 for me. I definitely took like a whole month off that one time, and thankfully Mark was there. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, I took like 2
fingers. Probably 2 fingers.
Two hands.
Do we ever get the answer as to where you really went those 2 weeks when we did 205 and live?
We can get the answer now because this is the 250th episode.
Okay, where'd you? Yeah, I think we can need an answer as to where you really were.
Where'd I go? I was at home. I was burnt the fuck out. I walked out. I pulled my Sasha before Sasha put Sasha. I walked out of the biz. Sorry. Hate to see it. But nah, I was definitely burnt out those weeks. I couldn't do the show anymore. Between that, I was doing It's a Challenge. I was doing The Lookout. I was doing something else. I was OD burnt out that week, those things. So I was just like, you know what? But you know what? It's a community, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys hopped in, Cyrus hopped in, Mark, you hopped in, everybody hopped in to make sure that like I was good. If you hear music in the background, you're just gonna hear music in the background. I don't
know. Listen, man, but that's neither here nor there because we were there for the listeners, and I want to thank everybody that's listening and watching right now. Obviously, this will be up tomorrow. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're, you know, I just see so much love, man. Thanks to DMV fan, Novak. I'm naming it as I see it. You know what I'm saying? I just see Drip in here. What's up, Drip? Thank you so much for pulling up on us. Johnny Barnes, man, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And it feels great to be here. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have a couple special guests. We're gonna have a differently. The show is gonna move a lot differently. Does everybody fuck with the stream? Does everybody like this? Like, does everybody like?
I hope people do, because it's different. It's different. I've never looked at Justin while really. I have. I mean, we've done like guests and stuff like that, but I don't actively like look at Justin while we were recording the show. We kind of just like that improved our mental telepathy. You know what I'm saying? We are closer than brothers now because we don't see each other while we do the show. So there's no cues I have to think.
The thing is that we could have easily been doing this on video. We could easily do it. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're so used to not doing it that like, you know, it just is what it is.
First of all, audio is a different experience. So we can create that thing. Like I admire most podcasts. We don't always have to do video. It don't always have to be the Joe Budden podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even then they don't do anything interesting in video except if just, you know, Joe Budden is just like something along those lines or do something or yells at Maul or Rory or whoever the hell is on the show at this point. So I don't know. There's something about the experience of audio that like it's still there for me. Like I can't shake it.
Speaking of audio, it sounds like popcorn is being made somewhere.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know where that is.
Oh, it's Meelz.
No crib. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
It's Meelz. He's cooked. Anyway, let's try and go through the show regularly. I'm going through a little bit of a crisis right now. I don't know if anyone you can low key see it now. I'm moving. So
since when?
I don't know. I don't know.
Since when? Like I've heard nothing about this.
I'm moving. Well, here's the thing, bro.
You got Solid Snake behind you in the little box. Like, what the fuck? Like,
no, that's actually Unicorn Gundam. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Well, I scared the dogs. That's Unicorn Gundam right here. You can't even see it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Turn that up.
Yeah. And then I guess everyone gets to see him. Come here. And then you got the homies here. You got Roman here. He's always here whenever gets to really see him. But
I remember the first time when you got him early and he had all those abandonment issues and we couldn't do the show without him being on your lap or farting on you or something along the lines.
He's such a fucking nerd.
By the way, Evan Stokes says the allegations return.
Of course.
There ain't no allegations. Here goes Ray. Here's the youngest in charge. My little baby
the allegations
girl.
just keep stacking up because there's two of them at this point. Like, how do you get two dogs?
Oh my god! But no, I'm moving. My wife said no. We actually haven't found a place. My wife said 30 days we're gonna find a place. I said all right. We'll see what's gonna happen at the end of the month.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So this is my life right now. This is how we're moving, man. I don't have a crib next to
it is.
Come on, man. I'm trying to just live just like y'all. I'm poor for real, man. I'm poor.
Nappy Roots poor.
Yeah.
Anthony Hamilton poor.
All my life I've been broke, but it really don't matter.
All cap.
All right, you guys are mean as hell. Listen, man. You see I'm wearing it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Let's get to it.
I'm wearing my cycle because I have to promote the lookout as well. But I have the shirt here. I have it here. I have it on my lap.
Okay, let's go. Hey, A show 250, A show 5 years. It's the revenge tour, man. If y'all haven't done it already, rncradio.bigcartel.com. You doing it like Lil Wayne put the red rag on the mic? That's when Birdman said he blessed the mic, and then he put the red rag on the mic. Oh man! And again, if you guys weren't able to tune in, obviously we're doing a lot of really visual gags this time. I mean, this is for all the people listening on audio. You missed out. We're doing a lot of audio gags today, so you guys are just gonna have to gonna have to get with it. But the pre-order's up. Shout out to everyone who's ordered a shirt already. We got a really good first weekend of merch. This is our first merch drop, man. This is the first of many, and thank you guys for showing so much love to all of this merch that we're doing. I really want to get No Holds Bar. Is there anything you want to talk about before we get into No Holds Bar?
Nah. Just kind of thank everybody. 250 episodes, man. 250 of them things. Like, we here. Shout out to everyone in the comments, shout out to everyone supporting us. Again, I'm always surprised that people show up or people support us. It's been like that since the first episode. 250 weeks later, it's the same thing. I'm always surprised. I'm surprised people are buying the merch. The merch is real. This feels good. It's like, check out the material. I don't know if you could see the fibers in this. It's very
It's crisp.
Very fine. It's very fine. Also, we got some more stuff to give away at some point through now.
Oh yeah, we got something else. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother Wale.
We should do it before we hit the Raw section. Before we hit Raw.
Yeah.
You in your SmackDown chair? Do you always record in your SmackDown chair?
Yeah, I always record in my SmackDown chair. This is a monumental day in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's my first. Do you know why? You know why the SmackDown is monumental, right? Not because it's the first time he got on Fox. It's because Kofi Kingston lost in like 10 seconds, and it was one of the greatest moments of my wrestling life. But another moment that's gonna be great for you guys is if you win this. Oh, upside down. Is if you win this Becky Lynch hoodie that I got for you. I also got AJ Styles right here.
Bianca.
Shirt. And I got the Biggie hoodie. So if you missed out on the Wale collection, I think this is the last drop of the Wale collection. That came out in Foot Locker over the weekend. If you missed out on it in Nashville, it's sold out. I got this for you right here. Me and Meelz got this for you. We're gonna be giving it away today. Shout out to Wale, shout out to Cash, shout out to Foot Locker for setting this up for us for $250. Huge, you know what I'm saying? Huge opportunity right here. But
you know what's crazy? This is also an A show first, because there is not a police siren in the background of me. There is fully an ice cream truck rolling at 8:14 p.m.
Yeah, but you know why? Because the cops stop patrolling at night in New York. It's like streets of rage out there after 7 o'clock. So that's pretty much.
Oh my god,
Mr. Softy goes until 8 o'clock.
Listen, I mean, at this point, these New York streets, you might go 9, 10. You know,
ain't no way you can get a Mr. Softy at 10 o'clock. There's no way. 10 o'clock at night.
I remember they used to sell gallons of milk. Like you could buy gallons of milk from the ice cream truck.
You are down bad buying a 2% whole milk from the ice cream truck at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my god. Antonio says that's the drug truck. Absolutely, 100%. Bro.
Shout out to Antonio Salgado, man. He's always been a long time listener, man. Just super active in the community, man. Shout out to him. I think we got some special guests for No Holds Barred though. Are they queued up?
Oh, he is definitely in the building right now. I'm hesitant to bring him up because I can already see just from our preview right here, he seems a little demonic coming into this A Show 250 right now. Let's make sure that we bring him up on stream because I want to see what's on his mind right now.
Armond Sadler from the Rewriters Room.
What's up, bro?
What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling? Happy 250. Shout out to y'all for real. Happy 250.
Thank you, brother.
You been sipping on something?
Nah. I worked out today, so I'm just adrenaline is up. I'm good though. I'm good.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Let me ask you a question. Did you get your ticket?
Ticket to the revenge tour?
Yeah.
Of course I did. Yeah.
Okay, all right. See, the allegations. Listen, the allegations is not.
Yeah.
So there's been. Go ahead.
I saw. I was like, people probably just threw theirs out. Like J5 was right. People probably just threw theirs out. Like that's it.
Listen,
it was very
there's been a lot of talk in the A Show private Discord between the shows and stuff because I sent the first people who got the shirts were obviously Justin, Armond, Channing, CC, Quan, Cyrus. But Quan and Cyrus swear I never sent them a ticket. They swear I never sent them the ticket. Everyone who gets it, they're gonna get their tickets to the the revenge tour and all this other stuff. They swear I haven't sent them a ticket. I swear I sent them a ticket because every ticket is numbered and the numbers are missing. Yeah. But they ain't got the ticket. Dion too. Dion trying to put my name in dirt out there. Like it's crazy, bro. Like listen, come on, man.
Dion wouldn't do that.
Dion would do that.
Dion would do that. Yeah.
Dion would 100% do that. Do you want to talk about Sid's comment right here that says more wealth is on the screen, Armond? Would you care to comment?
I don't know what he's referring to. I am nothing but a humble servant. Like I just be chilling, bro.
Humble servant. Y'all are so cap. And I think we're gonna need answers from Dion too. Dion, what's going on? What's going on with these accusations?
Hold up now. What's good?
Why are you wearing that?
Again?
Oh man.
Listen,
this man got the cake.
I got the package 3 weeks ago. Okay. Now normally I do a weird thing where if I'm not gonna wear it at the time, I'm not gonna open it because I already know what it is.
That sounds. It could be termites living in there for the next 3 weeks. I don't know what the hell. That seems like a you problem.
And I told Meelz I was gonna wear it on Raw. He said, "Oh, that's great. That's great." Okay. So when I open it, I'm looking. Because I remember what Cyrus and Quan said. They didn't get a ticket. And Meelz was like, well, them niggas probably threw it away. And J5 was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe
hey, I don't want to jump in this because this had nothing to do with me. To be fair, I almost threw it away. Because I almost threw it away. I did have tickets, though.
Yeah. And so I'm literally trying to look. I don't find nothing but air. I was like, okay, hold on.
Did y'all eat it?
I didn't eat them tickets.
Shit, I got my ticket. My ticket is nice and cozy right here. I don't know what y'all did with yours. Y'all be ripping through the packaging, not me. I be taking my time with my t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Savages.
Yeah, exactly. I guess, Mark. But so I was confused. I thought my tickets was gonna be in there. So I told Meelz, I was like, "Yo, you tripping, bro? I don't know. They might be right. I ain't get mine." And Cyrus like, "Shake the shirt just to make sure." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna shake the shirt." I shake the shirt. All I told Meelz was like, "Yo, I don't have it. I didn't say I needed the tickets back. I didn't say you was. I just say yo, I didn't get it." He's talking about something. What kind of nigga opens a package in 3 weeks anyways? I was like,
I can't be responsible for anything. Like you said, 3 weeks. It's like there's a warranty date. You know what I'm saying? You open the package a month later, warranty already run out. Like you can't return it back.
I'm not asking for
7
a return.
days.
I didn't even
7-day guarantee.
Did I ask for a return? I didn't ask for no return.
From what I heard, no.
All I said was, Meelz, I didn't get mine. I didn't ask for tickets. I didn't ask for another shirt. This nigga just going crazy on me.
Well, that reminds me of the time. That reminds me of the time that Meelz told me to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And I just want
that on the show.
I just want to remind everybody that Meelz told me to shut the fuck up. So
that did happen.
For no reason.
Recently.
For no reason. That's how he treats me, y'all. That's how he treats me. I usually cut it out. I left it in that episode. But hey, no holds barred. Thank you, brothers, for being on the show. We got a lot to talk about. So, Triple H, his first week as head of creative for WWE. He took over 2 weeks ago after the retirement of Vince McMahon. What a monumental first week that he had. He had to not only do a Big Four weekend in Nashville, but he had to do a SmackDown, SummerSlam, and Raw on his first week of the job. Now, if this is not throwing you to the wolves, I don't know what it is. Record high ratings already for Raw. Universally positive reception on SummerSlam. And you know what I'm saying? A sense of a change that was coming on SmackDown. We won't be able to see that until this week, the actual ramifications of everything. That was a go-home show. It's really tough to see, you know what I'm saying, what more creative you could get when everything's pretty much already figured out. What did you guys think about Triple H's first week as head of creative? Of course, he's the head of creative. He's working with Bruce Pritchard and all the writers on all the shows. What do you guys think? Dion.
First of all, before we go, just be clear. MC, put it back on the screen. Put it back on the screen if you can, please. And if you're not watching this, you're hearing this in audio. This is the most Connecticut-ass white woman smile that I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's the most by far. I just had to bring that up.
It's definitely Greenwich-ish. It's definitely Greenwich-ish, I will say.
Absolutely. All right, Dion, do your thing.
If this was Triple H first week on the job and he comes out like this, SmackDown, SummerSlam, and Raw, as a great rap group once said on Culture, you niggas in trouble. You niggas are in trouble. This man positioned, first of all, a lot of these women in like significant roles, like Bailey, obviously Bianca, you know, you got Dakota Kai returning. I know y'all gonna talk about that later. And you know, Io Sky, they look like powerful. They look like a real team, a real group that's gonna like tear stuff up. And then you got someone like Ciampa, like, who did not run from the grind. Kept staying by the side of Meelz, and now not Meelz, Miz. He might as well be the same person. Side.
I know that's right.
Be the same person. But he stayed low and build, and now he has a number one contender shot against Bobby Lashley's U.S. title. Like, just all the other stuff around him, man. Like, he just did a great job, and I feel like a lot of people are excited to see what he comes up with. And it does seem like a collaborative effort, like, you know, he's been saying, you know, and a lot of people haven't been this excited about Raw or about SmackDown in a while. So this is really a good sign. So I just hope that he keeps it up. You know, I just can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, you know, the feeling was different. I think that out of everything, and you know, it's yet to be seen if this momentum can carry on. I have no reason to believe that it won't. Especially in terms of like SmackDown, which always pretty much runs the same numbers, but it was a different feel. I felt as though, you know, the sign was, or the sources say in several outlets that this was supposed to be a statement weekend where he was making a statement in SummerSlam and Raw. Meelz, do you think that he made that statement?
I think Triple H, I mean, for his first week, I think even in terms of kind of like how he handled things with, I mean, he's there at the tryouts. They're doing like their version of media scrums where they like trot out everybody and then they can do kind of, so he's answering questions to the best of his ability. I know he answered that one question. It was like, that one guy was like, how do you think this will be different than Vince McMahon things? And he was like, just wait and find out. And he was like, wait, that's not the answer we wanted. He's like, I bet, motherfucker. But he's been doing a great job. I think what he offers to the WWE at this point is kind of like just a fresh outlook and seeing, and especially for knowing a lot of these wrestlers in the NXT, which we always fear was like, oh, okay, maybe the disconnect between the main roster and NXT, and you may not see, Vince McMahon may not have seen Ciampa's 5-year stint where he was the guy in NXT, but Triple H absolutely knows his strengths and his weaknesses. And it's kind of like how we're using this, and we're using all these people in their best, in their best role and best ability. So I think he's doing a great job thus far. We're going to talk about SummerSlam in a bit, but SummerSlam was absolutely key in all the success that's happened in this week thus far.
Well, let's get into it now. SummerSlam was on Saturday. We had a great Spaces that night. I joined in for like 2 seconds. I haven't really like said my thoughts about the show publicly yet, but I love the show start to finish. It was fantastic. Let's just start from the top. First match, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch. I know you guys went over it on Saturday on the Spaces. Definitely in the running, it's between that and the main event match of the night for me. Those are two matches that, again, far and beyond took the spectacle and the in-ring. You put them together. I think there's no doubt about it that Bianca is here in terms of being just a real ring general and what she's doing. Like, there's really nobody like her. And Becky Lynch, I mean, stamp her for this year run. Stamp her here for it to start literally a year ago and not end, but end here, and then her be injured is kind of crazy and poetic in a way, because it's a capstone to the character work that she had to do, and how that ended with that match. I thought it was just fantastic, and how bittersweet that she unfortunately had a separated shoulder coming out of that match. Really early in the match, she got the separated shoulder and wrestled through 20 plus minutes with that separated shoulder, and did the post-match thing where she had to lift her arm and do this. Shout out to her, man. Like, she really went crazy. But as Bianca wins, holding her title up, you get the handshake, the hug from Becky. Great moment. I popped for that moment. Bayley comes back, and it's like, okay, we knew it was coming close. We knew she was on the way. Then Dakota Kai comes out, and it's like, what's your face like? What is your mood like, Armond, when Dakota Kai comes out?
Man, it was genuine shock, because a lot of us were upset when it seemed like she was going to be leaving for however long. We definitely hoped that she would return. So her coming back, linking up with Bayley, is just incredible, because I think we said in the Discord before, like, another step in Bayley really just maximizing this heel character that she's been is having a full faction. Her and Sasha were a good team, but Bayley having people like around her that do her dirty work that she can mentor and help introduce to the main roster, because it's one thing for Dakota to come up by herself, but to come up and be teamed up with Bayley, that shit's fire. It was an amazing moment.
Let's get right back down to it. Io Shirai comes out. I'm sorry, not Io Shirai, Io Sky. Okay, let me tell you, there's been no name.
Still said Io Shirai. I'll tell you that.
There's been no name that's been tougher for these announcers to pronounce and get right than Io Sky. Corey Graves fucked it up last night like twice. Jimmy Smith just won't stop calling her Shirai, but she does debut at SummerSlam, and I think that at that moment, if you didn't know who these women were, the crowd knew. They were all in on this. They fuck with it. Bayley has a new stable, and we'll talk about that when we talk about Raw a little later on. But I mean, we got to get to the main event here. Another really fucking great match. Something I heavily enjoyed. Last time ever, last man standing. One more time, whatever you want to say. The spectacle of SummerSlam has never been higher than it was with Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. This was a match that everyone was upset about, understandably, but understandably on the other side, you knew why. You know what I'm saying? This had to happen, but it felt final. It felt like the final boss. It felt like the final match. It felt like they're both Jason and Michael Myers. Who's going to kill each other first? Who's going to kill who first? And that they really literally wanted to kill each other in this match. You felt it. Brock comes out with the tractor. I thought the tractor was going to be just for the entrance. He puts the motherfucker on it. How does he know how to work a tractor, bruh? Is that just go along with just the mountain man aesthetic?
I mean, yeah,
for sure, absolutely.
Listen, hold on, Justin, because I know we have someone waiting in the wings to also talk about this. We can't talk about two wrestlers trying to kill each other without bringing up friggin' Cyrus. Bring on Cyrus to the screen.
Oh God,
Cyrus is not prepared.
Are you what? Cyrus got a fresh twist, boy. Hold up, man.
Wait, I was gonna say, yeah, who did it?
I'm gonna Cyrus permed up, boy.
No, I just been parting my hair. It's just fun to do, bro. I never had this much hair before, so I just be fucking around with it.
Boy, look like Hey Arnold, bitch.
Hey guys.
Boy, look like Hey Arnold, bitch.
You look dapper, bitch.
Look like your name Weasley, bitch. Damn, Cyrus.
Farnsworth.
Cyrus, do Japanese wrestling need to learn from the example set by one Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in their main event? Is this the new death match record here?
I feel like they need to implement some weapons like this, like a whole tractor. Like, I feel like, barbed wire is cool. Oh, what is it? Light tools are cool, but somebody legitimately could have gotten hurt with this, like him lifting up that tractor. Like a bolt could have went flying into the crowd or some shit. So
there was a moment where he pushes the ring, and I was like, "Oh, he it was a misstep." It almost reminds me of like GTA San Andreas when you're trying to get them damn boxes on the damn the forklift, and you got to lift the shit up
dump the dude
all off the side. I was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta treat it like GTA, Brock. It's like GTA. You gotta line it up correctly." He lines the shit up, lifts the shit up in the stadium. And anyone who was there, let me know. I don't know where you guys were sitting. Like, that really fucked up your view, right? Because at one point, because of that, they were only wrestling to one side of the arena. So you pretty much had to like watch on the Titan on the Tron, right? Like I know that in the stadium that must have been tough, but that happens. You get Theory come out. Theory comes out, and
stupid Theory, bro.
I said last week they were way too horny to talk about the cash in. It's going to happen in some way, shape, or form. It happens, and it plays into the ending of the match. This is storytelling, and again, I don't know. We don't know creatively who comes up with all this stuff at the end of the day, but it was like this was a great way to get him out there and make it seem like he was going to cash in. I don't know how it was going to work because it's the last.
It wasn't.
It added to the drama of the match. I'll say that. I think it added to the overall the drama of the match. Just when you include anytime there's a cash in or at least a threat for a cash in, I think people's interest peak just in general. So when he's running down to do the cash in, and both Roman, I mean, you look at the ring, you look at outside. Brock has laid out pretty much everybody, including Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns is also out on the ground, and you see Theory just trying to wedge his way in it. How does he get it? I mean, does it become a 3-way last man standing match? We'll never know at this point.
Yeah. But the tease was there, and the fact that
was there, which was the perfect part.
Yeah, it was perfect, and Brock hits him with the F5. And actually, we got some comments from people that were in the arena. DMV fan, his first wrestling show, I believe, was at SummerSlam. What a fucking show to go to. He said everybody was screaming, holy shit. He had to look at the screen. Jalen said, not from where he was sitting. Sid, shout out to Sid. He said entirely had to look up at the screen. He's, apparently it just depends on where you was at. You know what I'm saying? If you can see it or not.
Boys have money.
Especially Kirk Jalen, you know what I'm saying? he got money.
Jalen, for y'all, he is the rich nigga. Like, the allegations are clear. Very
Dion, you look so threatening with that do-rag on, sir. Can you back away from the camera, sir? Do you have a knife on you, my man? Anyway,
I had to use my phone. I don't know what y'all talking about, man. I be moving. You feel me? So I don't. I'm no more threatening, guys. Trust me. I'm letting my do-rag cake flow and all.
Hey, if you in the Discord and you watching this right now, drop some crosses in the chat for Jalen. Shout out to him. You're watching and listening to A Show 250. Thank you guys for joining in. End of the show ends with with Roman in a poetic sense hitting Brock with both titles and then saying, "You don't belong here. We don't want to see your ass here anymore." Hits him one more time and they bury him. But before I even get to that, I forgot the Paul Heyman payoff was perfect as well. Because
I think that was like, to me, because to be honest with you, for the last 7 months, Roman Reigns really been beating Brock Lesnar's ass.
Yeah.
But to see Brock Lesnar finally hit that F5 on Paul Heyman, it was like at least you got something from this match, especially if you are a Brock fan and if you were betting on Brock or something on Brock, you definitely at least got that of, you know, Brock Lesnar F5 and Paul Heyman through a table, which is like, whoa. Like,
and the visual is crazy. Shout out to Paul, who I know he don't got good hips, man. He took that bump, man. He really did that, and shout out to him. But Roman sends Brock out the territory. I thought a great show, great ending to the show. We knew that this was going to happen. We knew that Roman was he's going to go into Clash of the Castle as champion. I'm sorry, there's just there's no way around it. But the way they got here, to me, in terms of his title defenses, there was no title defense that he had ever had that I felt as though, okay, he could realistically lose this. Because there were so many moments that I felt as though it could happen, but there was actually danger there. There was concern. There was worry. I mean, Brock flipped the whole ring to try and beat this guy. You know what I mean? And I think that they have a large undertaking to make Drew look as though he can do that in a month or so. But for what it is right now, Roman is still the undisputed champion of WWE, and that's where he stands. I love the show, but
hey, quick question: what's your match of the night? How about that?
My match of the night's tough, right? Because I felt as though everything was leading to that. I remember at Mania and night 2, and anyone who was there with me and on the show, I said like I feel like night 2 was subdued because they felt as though Brock and Roman was going to tear the house down, and they didn't tear the house down. I felt like tonight was definitely y'all need to relax unless you're like Logan Paul, because like they're going to tear the house down, and I felt this on my match of the night because of that. Might have been the main event. It really might have been. Even though Bianca and Becky, fucking generational great, I still prefer their Mania match a lot better. But to me, what made the Becky Bianca match stronger was the end of the match. To me, I thought that the end was just, masterful end of a story. And for everyone that's saying that this company don't do year-long stories, this was a year-long story. It started at SummerSlam and it ended at SummerSlam. I'm just saying, man, like it definitely, it definitely was a year-long story that built between these two women. But Brock and Roman ending here as well. Again, another year-long story. Started here, ended here. It bookended each other. Whoever did that was masterful. But Roman and Brock is probably my match of the night.
What about you, Armond?
I'm kind of 5. I'm torn between Brock, Roman, and Bianca, Becky. I think that Spanish fly to the KOD was just incredible. But the ring getting lifted, Roman hitting Theory with the briefcase, like both of them just had such great moments. I think I'm gonna lean Bianca, Becky.
Okay. What about you, Cyrus?
Roman Brock, easy. Obviously, I love the Becky and Bianca match a lot, but there was just a lot more spectacle going on within the match from bell to bell. While, like Justin said, a lot of the stuff that I loved about the match kind of came towards the end. Or the post match.
Yeah. Right. Dion, what was your match of the night?
I want to give a quick shout out to Bianca and Becky, because what a story, what a feud. Honestly, to me, probably one of the best women's feuds of all time since probably Sasha Bailey, in my opinion. But the match of the night for me was Brock versus Roman. If I was to show somebody who is not a wrestling fan, like the pro wrestling, this is one of these matches I will show them, because it's like, just when you thought you saw it all, you look at that match, you'd be like, wow, I really did not. Because who thinks of a tractor lifting up the ring? You just thought you really thought you seen it all in wrestling until you see that match. You're like, wow, you haven't seen shit yet. So
yeah,
match.
One more point from SummerSlam. You had the in-ring, not the in-ring debut, but the in-ring one-on-one debut between Logan Paul and the Miz. I didn't know what to expect coming into this. I didn't know what to think. And by like 3-4 minutes in, there was a little bit of sloppiness. He looked good. He looked like he had been practicing. He looked like he had been training. He's cut to death. I thought Miz was breaking out some shit Meelz that I ain't never seen this dude do before in my life. I said, "Damn, what?
Stop playing with the Miz, bro. Come on, man. Miz could do a Spanish fly too. You just don't do it, you know."
Logan Paul, the Miz. Again, another like I think I was listening to Cornette today and hearing what I've been listening to all the SummerSlam reviews.
You were listening to Cornette is just. I'm always interested in like why you chose him as the voice that you continuously listen to on a weekly basis.
I ask that question all the time too. Why?
Because I think he's so ridiculous. It's literally like it's almost like when people like who are like, because the thing about Cornette is weird is that like he's the most left-leaning, like prejudiced person in the world. So it's almost like regular left-leaning people. So it's like, okay, he definitely thinks like Roe v. Wade should be back, but he also doesn't like women to wrestle. So it's like a.
When I saw him review the Sasha versus Bianca match, I say, yeah, I can't listen to this shit, bro.
Yeah, hey man, listen, it's you got to hear it on both sides. It's either that or I listen to like it's either that or I listen to Solo Monster. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's my Joe Rogan.
Yo, boot this man out. Boot this man right now, please.
Moving on. I don't even know why.
Wow.
But anyway, I just want to say he calls this celebrity wrestling, and I think it's funny as shit.
He's such a.
Can a celebrity hit one of these? I mean, honestly, I don't know how many celebrities can hit one of these though.
But bro, he calls it celebrity wrestling, man. Like that shit is funny as fuck. That's not funny. Like that's just literally what it is. Like Miz is a celebrity too.
Listen, man. Listen.
Hey, Meelz, you better swing for your dog now.
MVP of this match is Maurice. How about that?
MVP of the match is definitely Logan Paul. But let's like to tap into like really what was good. Like I like that they loosened the rules here because you ain't going through no damn. That's a DQ. You're going through a goddamn table in the match, bro. Like come on,
it's
man.
Actually not because you didn't use the table as a weapon. You just like. It's not like you hit him with the table. So if you hit him with something, and if you throw them into the steps, it's not a DQ. But I think if you hit them with the steps, it's a DQ. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Celebrity wrestling. Bro, you gotta admit, celebrity wrestling is funny as fuck. Like, come on, man. Hey, come on, Cal. He is, man. He's my Joe.
I'm glad you find it funny. I'm glad you find it funny.
You have at least one. There's niggas that listen to Chris Brown. We're gonna talk to one a little bit later. But
hey, man, buy our merch, please, while you can. Please buy the A-Show merch. RNCRadio.com.
No lie. Miz put his working boots on. Logan Paul put his working boots on as well. He gets the W. What's next for Logan Paul? He came out on Monday and said he signed a multi-deal or multi-match, multi-year deal with WWE. He said, "This is. I think I found my calling." Where do we see him next? Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble's a lot.
Who gets the bag? That's what everyone who gets the bag says. I think I found my calling. Like, I don't have to wrestle for 200 days to be a wrestler. That's like my dream. Like, let's say we become celebrity wrestlers, right? Like me and you. Somehow this podcast goes to some stadium status type shit, and we become wrestlers. We don't have to be in the PC Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can just learn to wrestle for about 6 months, go out and wrestle, and make a bunch of money. So everyone who says that, Bad Bunny, I'm sure, is like, yo, this is the dream. I can't believe it. But Bad Bunny only has to do it once per year. Barely. You know? But God bless him. Listen, nonetheless, I forgot what you were saying. Go ahead.
I'm just saying celebrity wrestling, man.
Okay. No, Logan Paul, I could see him next with I don't know. KO's not a heel, is he? No?
Oh wow, that would be fire because you have to have a lot of gaga and BS in Logan Paul matches, right? He can't.
Right.
He's not a 15-year vet. He's not a 5-year vet. He has to be in there with guys that can take the bumps, but also know how to work. KO is actually a good ass idea, because I would feel like if Miz starts to slide out of the celebrity wrestling viewpoint, KO to me is the next natural thing, because he'll bump for anyone, and Sammy will bump for anyone at this point. And I think that, well, I mean, he was already involved with these two anyway.
Yeah,
right?
There's a story behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done Logan at WrestleMania.
Logan could be coming back for all his ops.
I mean, this is true. This is
I
very,
think
very
the
true.
best thing that you could do is to start the Impossible stable and have a bunch of celebrity wrestlers on the stable. And he has like some
That's
real
a terrible idea.
Sort of like, hear me out. Sort of like what Pat McAfee was going to do when they turned him heel in NXT, and he had a stable of like shooters with him, and then they had their own crew. This is Triple H booking again. He could realistically do that. He could bring that story back. Don't nobody watch NXT. Don't nobody remember that shit. That was COVID era.
I just remember that crew went to War Games. That's insane.
Yeah. and they went crazy with. Do we think War Games is coming back under Triple H?
Nah.
This dude Armond.
I'd keep it for NXT.
Huh?
I'd keep it for NXT. I'd definitely keep it for NXT. Yeah, they ain't got nothing. What's the NXT spectacle match? You know what I'm saying?
NXT
they can't do Hell in a Cell on NXT.
It's the 15 ladder matches they do a year. That's their spectacle match.
well, they don't get a Survivor Series. They don't get Money in the Bank. They don't get anything. Like, let them just have War Games. Let them keep War Games. I'm good with not seeing. Now, War Games would be tight on the main roster, even though I'm not a fan of War Games match, just specifically. It just seems a lot of it, first 25 minutes is violence for the sake of violence.
Have they announced where SummerSlam is going to be this year? Have they announced that?
Survivor Series?
Survivor Series. I'm sorry. Survivor Series. I'm sorry. Is that in?
I believe it's going to be in Boston.
Where's that at? MC? If you could find that for us, please.
Boston, right, the TD Arena. That's the only reason.
TD Garden. TD Garden is where Survivor Series is going to be this year.
Yeah, I would feel like I made it.
I would do it there. I would do a War Games there. You're going to realistically sell that out immediately if you say there's going to be War Games. Oh, Antonio Logan bring out Gary V. Celebrity wrestling, man.
Okay.
Celebrity wrestling. Cornette was right, bro.
Terrible idea.
But even if War Games did stay in 2.0, who would you want to see in War Games this year? Please save me from the Legato, Tony D'Angelo War Games.
Hey, we said that shit the last War Games they had. So
there is no.
You can't even be surprised.
But that made more sense though.
They burnt out all those matchups. Triple H was head of creative when they were doing that. He could just bring that onto Survivor Series, and what if they made it so that one person could pick their team from any brand, from any roster? You could bring 2.0 people in there at that point. Because the thing is, with H there now, we don't ever got to worry about there being a cognitive dissonance between main roster not understanding what NXT is. They're already with 2.0. They're already understanding what these characters are now. Even when they get called up, there's very little change to them at this point. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I can't believe Cyrus is drinking a Mountain Dew right in front of me on the A show. I can't believe it.
The fuck they got to do with you?
What's wrong with that?
Mountain Dew's disgusting. What the fuck?
I don't give a shit.
Oh, Mountain Dew saved me in Dallas, boy. Mountain Dew saved me in
That shit was
Dallas.
delicious, nigga.
Mountain Dew's disgusting. Go on.
It helped his hair grow.
Apparently.
Bro. Hey man, DMV fan said, why do I have all these big brain ideas for Logan Paul? Because I am a Logan Paul believer. I think he could be a fantastic heel. The thing about it is that they were booing him until he started going crazy in the match. I still think there's some heat to be had with making him a heel. I do think that as much as I like the match, he was miscast against The Miz. I think that was not a good casting. I honestly think AJ Styles would have been a better casting, and he would have been the biggest heel, one of the biggest heels in the damn stadium that night if it had been AJ versus Logan Paul. It could still happen. Who knows? But I think that there's a lot of really fun things you could do with Logan Paul. There's a lot of really fun things you could do with War Games as well. If Triple H calls that back up to the main roster, a lot of the people there probably already worked the match anyway. You could get Ciampa in there. There's probably going to be somebody called up for the draft. It would make sense. I'm really interested to see what they do, but who knows?
Did you see the Ital tweet that I'm still laughing at that said Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania is going to be Austin Rock at 17?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I want that match more than anything.
There is no way the Bad Bunny is out right now seeing this shit and being like, yo, what the fuck? Like, he looking at this shit like, yo, come on, man. Celebrity wrestling. Celebrity wrestling, man.
You see the vision, man. I'm rocking with it.
But one more thing really quick, because we got to move to our next segment. Ric Flair had his final match on Jesus Christ, this picture on Sunday. It was if SummerSlam was a spectacle, I don't know what the opposite of this was. Andrade Idolo and Ric Flair, of course, his son-in-law and his father-in-law, versus was it Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, right?
Yes.
So he had his final match, and if the clips that I seen are to be believed, this motherfucker looked like he was completely in a comatose state, out of it for at least half of the match. Who watched it, and what did you guys think?
I'm not surprised he's still alive. That's all. I put a clip on the A show where this man has survived a plane crash. He survived lightning almost striking on him. He survived plenty of other near-death experiences. I don't know. I'm not surprised this man is still alive. I don't acknowledge Ric Flair post 2008. I don't even know who that is. So that's all I have to say.
The match went a good 15, 20 minutes, I think. You had all the regular Flair spots. You had Flair bleeding, which I don't think that a man his age should be cutting himself on the head or especially touching other people with his blood. Shout out to Sid. Yes, someone should be in jail for allowing that shit. I just see all of this people saying incredibly proud. I'm proud of you. Here's my thing, man. If the E wasn't gonna throw you the bag, but the thing is, he probably got a bag just doing that on Sunday. That was the last probably huge bag he's ever gonna get in terms of wrestling. But it's just, is this how we envision Ric Flair going out? Did you feel as though the WrestleMania match was where it really should have ended at?
Here's the thing. So I was muted for a while because there was a car alarm going off. I'm not sure who's breaking into whose car.
No cops.
However, no cops. I watched the match. I did watch the match. It was one of the most. What makes wrestling not seem real at all? Is when you're overselling for a 70-plus-year-old guy who can barely move in the ring. Like when he's chopping the shit out of you and you're bouncing up and down and left and right and moving to there's so much stuff. I want to give props to Jeff Jarrett, who there's not a bag too far that this man will not get. If he has to murder Ric Flair, he'll murder Ric Flair. Does he have to die for Ric Flair? He has to die for Ric Flair. Did you know how the match ended, Justin?
Didn't he try and do the figure four and then he laid down because he was tired and they pinned Jeff Jarrett for some reason?
And that's exactly how it happened. They had Undertaker in attendance. Mick Foley was in attendance. Bret Hart and his black wife was in attendance. Like I was just like, how can you guys watch this? How can Charlotte luckily was not in attendance? Maybe she was watching from the back. Maybe she was watching from somewhere else. I don't know. They tried to get
Instagram something from her account. I saw she might have been there.
They had Ric Flair's other daughter there who's trying to get into it as well. And then Conrad himself even got into it. He threw a pair of brass knucks in the ring for Ric Flair.
He's always wanted to do some shit like that. He's always wanted to do some shit like that.
Like this match to me was, I was like, damn, why are we watching this? Like, why is this a thing? I'm sure everyone got a bag on that show. Everyone wrestled on that show. They had a lot of set matches. Shout out to everyone who's the pre-card for this. But if we keep doing these spectacle shows, I'm just glad this is the last one. It really looks like the last one. The blood was not necessary. There was that point during I think Fight TV had a tweet where it was like, Ric Flair admitted, like, I passed out for a second. Like, you can see him mouthing it to Andrade. Like,
Bro, he got goddamn gout on his foot, bruh. He got gout on his foot, bruh. Come on, man.
Yo,
Mick Foley said it was better than
Foley?
Taker
Mick Foley's brain.
disgusted being there.
We don't listen to Mick Foley.
No. Here's my thing. What did Vince do to Mick Foley that's so bad that made him do? Actually, there's a lot of shit Vince probably did to that nigga that made him.
A shoulder, teeth in his nose,
electricity.
That boy died for Vince, man.
Jesus Christ! But
only got 2 books.
Ric Flair alive. I just saw a really, really good question from Darren Ezel. How long y'all think? How fast y'all think Rick gonna blow that money? It's already gone. It's gone already.
My thing is that Ric Flair is definitely going to be wrestling again in like 3 years. Like he is following Terry Funk trajectory here. Like he's gonna have a match in like some other time in like what is it in like AAA.
If he go to GCW and I see him getting thrown on light tubes and shit, yeah, Cena the GOAT. I'm like, nah, Cena the GOAT. I'm not putting Flair up there.
Nah, Cena definitely needs to get 17 after this, just to kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
We just need a 17 one right now.
Here's my thing with H with the book. I think that's pretty much that no one's ever touching that. Triple H loves Triple H loves Ric Flair so much. Ain't nobody getting 17. He's like, nah, I can't do that. Partner. Vince might have did it for some bread. Triple H ain't doing that shit. Vince would have sold Ric Flair out for a packed house. Haven't seen him win 17. But nah, Triple H ain't gonna do it like that. He gonna respect that nigga. So yeah, Ric Flair, happy retirement. Good riddance. Becky Lynch still better. L
NBA young boy better
L ratio.
Becky better. L ratio. But that was no holds barred. I want to thank Dion and Cyrus and Armond for joining us for this conversation and being just some of the most, being the backbone again to this group and this platform and just having, so much great insight and just being around for this. Of course, the War Report comes out every single week. The Rewriters Room is back. Their most recent episode came out last week. And Dion, you can already see him on the socials on the A Show RNC. That's him behind all of the demonic tweets and violent do-rag wearing tweets.
I've really calmed down on the tweets though. I've calmed down. I've come a long way, man. But that's good for you two guys always, taking me in and making sure that y'all lead me the right way as
What? Are you on the floor? On the project floor?
Nah,
he's on his
bed, man. I'm just chilling in my bed.
He's
bro.
chilling. Like chilling.
Everybody sitting like professionals. I'm just chilling, man.
Is your bed linoleum? It's shiny, bro. What the fuck?
All right. Come on, allegations. We don't need to do this. We don't need to bed shame.
My bad, bro.
It's not a bed shame. It looks like it's a shiny bed.
Come on now. We don't need to do that.
Shiny bed is rich. I'm not trying to go him.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, I will see y'all later, man. Thank y'all for being on the show, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you guys. All right.
We got an announcement.
Okay.
We got an announcement.
Oh, we got an announcement.
Yeah.
We got an announcement, guys. Do you see this? You see this photo? You know where this photo is from? That is from the WWE Draft 2002. So you know what this means? You know what this means? It means that officially on the A Show 250th episode, we are announcing that the Draft Diaries is coming to the A Show in September. It is coming in September. I have a date in mind, but I might change it. But it's coming this September. Patrons, you will get it early. But this is going to be actually the first set of diaries that we'll also feature on the main feed as well. We're gonna do both of it as well. So patrons, you're gonna get it early. And when I mean early, I mean early. It's not gonna be like A Show day before. You're gonna get it early. Everyone else, you're gonna get it when you get it. But nonetheless,
we're figuring out like a delicate balance because I know a lot of people probably haven't subscribed to our Patreon. If you haven't, please do so. But we want to make it fair and make sure that people can get this as well. So you guys will get a little bit of a time tax on that, but patrons, of course, you're gonna get it early.
I'll let you guys know. It is going from the draft 2002, and it's going all the way up to WrestleMania 19. So This is the final. This is going to be the final of the trilogy of the Invasion Diaries, X8 Diaries, and Draft Diaries. So it's going to be there. It's going all the way to WrestleMania 19. I'm very happy. Mark, you're already penciled in for the episode where we talk about Hollywood Rock. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, these are just legendary times, legendary moments. So I appreciate you including me.
We're going to be talking about Austin walking out because it's very how do you say
that's big hair.
We're going to talk about Austin walking out. We're going to talk about the rise of Brock Lesnar, the summer of Brock. We're going to talk about how the NWO kicked the bucket in a matter of weeks.
I can't wait for that one. Can I be on Lethal Dose of Poison? Because that's ever since Vince retired, that has been the fucking promo I go back to. The Lethal Dose of fucking Poison.
No, you gotta say it right. You gotta say a lethal dose of poison.
You think I won't do it?
Niggas think I won't push this button, nigga.
Raw essentially when the World Championship came, which AKA the Triple H show.
Brother.
We're gonna talk about the SmackDown 6 and how that formed and who's the 6 and who is not in the 6 or something along those lines. We talk about Paul Heyman's SmackDown essentially. And everything built up to that, man, all the way up to WrestleMania 19. So the Draft Diaries is coming this September. Some of you guys that are in the comments, make sure you have your DMs open because there will be a call. I'm stretching out beyond. X8 Diaries was definitely a show presented. We're stretching our borders beyond that. Might be a few set of voices you may not have heard on the A Show network before. So will be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting. So make sure you guys tune into that. It is the Draft Diaries. It is coming this September.
Speaking of voices that you have not heard before, we have a guest. Is he queued up?
Oh, he's definitely in the building right now. The smile's already here, so I already see him. I already see him very ready here.
Oh man, look at my guy, Josh Pease.
Hey, I'm tripping. I'm like seeing the little blur at the top of J5 show. I'm like, yeah, y'all be blurring out logos and shit.
No, it's blurry because I got a bunch. We packing, so I got a bunch of boxes and shit in the background. But Josh Pease, co-host of the Black Print. And Black Print Radio Amp. That's tomorrow. We gotta do that shit tomorrow. But man, what's up, yo?
Man, what's good, man? I'm in the building, man. Off the top rope.
Oh my god. Yo, Josh. All right. I've never talked wrestling with you. This is very, very interesting. What is your memories of wrestling? Just what's your favorite memories of wrestling from the past?
This is such a very random ass memory. I remember 1, 2, 3 Kid was Sticks.
Yeah.
Sticks. I'll never forget, man. I was like, he wasn't in one of the video games I was playing. It's probably like WrestleMania 2000 or some shit. I don't know. It was one of these games where you could first start creating a player. And I remember it was late. It was probably like 11 o'clock, 12. It might have been midnight. I go to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, like, how do you spell Sticks? And she's like, huh? You asking how to spell sex? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, fuck out my room.
Oh my god.
Memory. And then, I don't know. I grew up in like the Attitude Era. Definitely saw the rise and fall of WCW and ECW. And I don't know. I was a fan of like hardcore wrestling. Like I thought that was the thing. Like when that came out, I was like, oh shit, this is the evolution of this.
This is where the business is going.
Minnesota legend. See, shout out to my guy Barnes in the building. Hey, I got y'all comments on the screen. This is like that. I've never been in a production like this.
Come on, man. We have our own the same production guy that we got is on this.
Like literally the same fucking.
This is amazing.
We got the same producer for our show on this.
My money not long enough, bro. And We need on-screen comments.
All right, Josh. So speaking of memories, we had a memory last March. We took the trek out to Dallas and we went out to WrestleMania. You created some memories of your own, man. What was that like, just being at WrestleMania, man?
No, that was amazing, bro. That's like my childhood fully formed. I think, growing up, WrestleMania was always one of those events that was like, oh, I wish I can go. And like you would watch everyone and be like, oh, it was just always an event. And, I kind of fell out with just watching wrestling consistently. But going to Dallas and seeing WrestleMania and just seeing like the atmosphere, being in the atmosphere, it kind of rekindled that flame for me. And it just showed me that like this is for all ages. And it's definitely it's something that never leaves you. Like I think, I almost teared up watching like Triple H leave his boots in the ring and like just those little moments where like harken back to when I grew up watching it and just seeing it now. I was like, oh shit, like this was definitely a thing.
You got to see Stone Cold wrestle. You got to see Stone Cold twice, by the way, which is something that no one in the last 2 decades can ever say, to be honest with you.
Wow, I can't believe he came back out for like the second night. I was like, damn, this nigga, they working this guy.
No, but I mean, like, even from just like you come from agency side, you come from marketing side as well. Like from like an experiential point of view, like the way that look was crazy too, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But I think that's something I've always noticed about WWE. I'm sorry. I think they've always just really been aware of their brand and just like how to maximize it. I think they have, some of the greatest marketers working for that company currently. They kind of show up in all different places of culture, and it's always authentic to wrestling, which you can't say that about a lot of brands. So, the experiential portion of it was amazing. Access was crazy. I actually met a friend who works in marketing who like was working with a brand that was out there, who built like a little photo moment, and I was just like, oh, even the thing y'all built was just over the top. Like you wouldn't see this at Complex Con, but access. Right.
No, so we have a game. The reason we brought you on here, I didn't tell you anything about it because we got a game we're going to play today.
Oh no.
I love introducing games that no one knew the guest doesn't know about. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's surprising people with games.
But the thing that makes this game great is that the fact that you are like a lapsed fan and somebody that doesn't watch weekly is that you probably don't know half these people, and you're going to get to make a judgment the same way you made judgment on people at WrestleMania that you had never seen before. And this game is called I'm Not a Star.
I'm not a star.
So, can you predict if today's wrestlers are the wrestlers of the future? Let's get the first one out here on the screen right here.
Who's going to be the first one? Is he a star or is he not a star?
This is not a star. I think I know this guy. This is Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Hey, Josh
is wearing the WWE Championship, and he said he's definitely not a star.
Come on, look at this guy. He got on just the regular ass trunks. It looked like he ain't got no type of branding, but a bald head. This is Armond Johnson 2.0. Like,
wait, you didn't fuck with Ahmed?
This is crazy. What's with the ball slander?
Armond Johnson didn't fuck with himself, bro. He had to join the Nation of Domination. He got kicked out. Like it's funny. I just was watching some shit on YouTube about Armond Johnson. Just like it was like some old just WWE stories, and just talking about him and his storyline. I was just like, oh, this is we don't know what to do with this black guy, so we're just gonna.
Ahmed Johnson was really popular though, Josh. He was actually really popular.
He was popular because he was black, but I just remember he had nothing going on, no moves, no special.
He had the Pearl River Plunge.
He had 8 knee pads on his arms and legs.
That he just, like took over. Like he didn't have no like new move. He wasn't innovative.
All right. Oh my God. All right, man. Bobby Lashley, not a star. Let's get to the next potential star on our list here. Jade Cargill, AEW. Is she a star or not?
What's her name?
Jade Cargill.
She might be a star. I can't front. She looked like a star.
I like it.
Star power. She got the good hair going. I'm not mad at this.
Her first match, she wrestled in a tag team match. Her tag team partner was Shaquille O'Neal. And she went against, who did she go against? Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, was it Cody Rhodes' wife or Red Velvet?
Red Velvet. It was Red Velvet. She was pregnant. She was pregnant.
From the first.
No, she didn't fight a She didn't fight a pregnant woman. The girl, Cody Rhodes' wife, was supposed to wrestle that match where she was pregnant, and I believe she was pregnant, right? Am I wilding?
Yeah, I believe she was pregnant. Yeah.
Okay, she was pregnant, so she had to fight Red Velvet, and Shaquille O'Neal took a bump on Jesus Christ, took a bump on the table. But Jade Cargill, what about her makes her a star to you? Like what do you like? Is it the muscles?
It's the makeup package.
Yeah,
She's spending money on her makeup every day. That's Fenty. I can tell.
So she's a star. She is a star. Jade Cargill is a star. Well, who's the next person on our list? Rhea Ripley.
This is a tough one. The outfit screams star. Is that a face tat?
Yeah, it's a face. Well, it's like a drawing. I don't think it's a tat.
That's not star like. She need to go all the way and get the tat. Yeah, she's not a star. Just she got the face.
Oh,
that's it.
Is she in WWE or E or AEW?
Yeah, she's in the E. She's in the E.
she's in the
Huh?
Is she NXT?
No, she's not NXT. She used to be.
Okay, I mean, I can't front. I like the direction where wrestling is going, where you kind of have people who just feel like I feel like I've met her before. Like I've seen her at a club. Like she very much has a look at like, oh, like I'll be out. Like
okay, we need to find Rhea Ripley and find out if she's going to be in the same clubs that Josh is going to be in. Because I'm gonna,
might be, you know, it's a house resurgence. I can see her like Escape or like
Toxic.
Not even Insomniac, one of them Insomniac events. I can see her there.
So she's gonna be at what's it? Real Hard Fest?
That's or Escape or
yeah.
The techno stage.
So not a star, but in the club.
Not a star, no.
Okay, all right. Next person. That's crazy. Next person up. The Street Profits. Now you saw them at WrestleMania.
Saw them. These niggas not stars. I'm sorry. Not stars. They should be stars for everything they stand for, but they entrance. So they had the entrance with all the frat stuff.
Yeah.
The frat balls and red cups.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Did you say frat balls?
I mean, like the little ping pong ball.
golf ball that you do the
you gotta play water pong and shit like that.
Beer pong.
Pong. There you go.
These they hold like it's funny. Like I don't know their whole origin story, but it feels like they came in on some frat shit, and then they were like, "Hold up, we need to pivot more gangster rap."
You might be on the money, to be honest with you.
When I was in college, they would be like Kappas.
Wow. Well, actually, I think Montez might be one, right? Or no? He was in the military. But not even the guy on the right. The guy on the right, you don't think is a star? That they think that he's going to be a WWE champion.
He got a star haircut. I can't front, but
what about the other guy?
Other guy, you know what? You could have told me that was like Mero from Desus and Mero, and I'd be like, oh shit.
Oh, come on now.
What did he pop out? Like, not a star. Look like D'Lo Brown 2.0, actually.
Wow. All right. Next picture,
right.
man. Austin Theory from WWE. Mr. Money in the Bank. Youngest Money in the Bank holder.
Off the show. I can just tell by his mouth. He's saying some star shit. He talking some shit right here. I can just tell just the haircut. Like, he looked like the G-Eazy of WWE. Like,
Wow.
He got the haircut. That's like a haircut you gotta get weekly. Like he a star for sure. He got a Barbie on the road. Like he not one of them.
So they have a barber backstage, by the way, just to let you know. He got an in-house barber.
Here's the thing, Josh. WWE, they both think the same thing. He's poised to be WWE champion in the next year. It can happen. So he's a star. Next up.
Did Vince also say, "Look at the mouth, he's talking that shit"? I don't know if Vince said that. I don't know if Vince had that same quote.
He was at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah,
he fought with Vince. Remember, he fought Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he a star for sure. He got this down. He got this.
Orange Cassidy from AEW.
Not a star. Nah, not a star.
What about him makes him not a star?
Just the aviator glasses.
Okay.
Like the Zara jacket.
He looks like one of those like Las Feliz Echo Park type niggas.
Yeah, like he looked like I don't know. He looked like the nigga that deliver your DoorDash, but on Saturday.
You know, I gotta go, man.
All right, not a star. Next up,
Oh my god,
the Undisputed Elite from AEW.
Am I judging all these guys?
Yeah,
They're a group. They're a group.
It's a star power in this group.
okay. Who?
I can't front. They got some good faces going on here.
Who's the
which
star?
one calls out to you?
The one second to the right. The right side of this picture, they look like a mean tag team. These are
Wow. Okay.
in front. Like
Okay.
the right is menacing. The dude to the left got a look on him that look like he'll bite your ear off. It's like, yeah, these my goons. The niggas to the left, low key, kind of corny. They corny it up a little bit, but the right side is strong.
Wow.
How about the middle? How about the middle? What's the middle look like?
The middle, he look like a boss. He look like he's like, yeah, these my niggas. Like,
Okay. Okay.
I could actually say if you would show me him by himself, I'd be like, he's a star for sure.
If I were to show him by himself, you would see how small he is now.
Who is he? What's his name?
His name's Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
That wasn't that like an announcer?
That's Michael Cole, my guy.
Oh, okay. They're not related. You know, these wrestlers need to be related.
No, they're not. They're not related. They're not related. They're not related. So
now, they are now. Shit.
So I'll give you half for this because you said half of it is a star.
Yeah.
The young bucks are not stars, and
I always hear their name though.
that's them on the left.
Young Buck need to go get some money. There was no Young Bucks before Young Buck. Like, come on, like.
Come on now.
Hey, young buck, call us. We can show you all their tapes and everything. We got everything here. Next up on the list, Wheeler Yuta.
Not a star.
The mask is covering his face, and he can still tell.
He's not wrestling with the mask on, right?
No, but I wish he did because even without it on.
What's the wrestler that used to come? Glacier? Didn't he used to have a mask?
He called him Glacier.
A deep cut. I love it. I love it.
Hey, they spent so much money on Glacier's intro, and he never got past like mid card, right? Like,
Bro, they had. I watched it. I need you to look at an account called Wrestling Bios, Wrestling BIOS. It's this guy from like Europe, and he reviews all of like the old shows and stuff like that. He has a video on Glacier and how his career trajectory intersected with the NWO. And they said once they figured out NWO was popular, they said fuck Glacier, and they said we don't give a fuck about it.
I remember Glacier though. He used to come out with the smoke and shit. Come on, I think he had a stick or something too. He was.
I think he came out with a stick man a couple of times. So Wheeler Yuta, not a star. Get him off the screen. Let's get to the next one. Nikita Lyons, NXT 2.0.
I couldn't even cap. I used to follow her on Instagram. She's a star. Okay, goddamn, she's a star. She's so much of a star. She damn near happy because she had ass. And I seen another photo. I was like, oh, you're not even really thick like that, but you know how to. You got sex appeal. You know how to carry yourself. Was she in WWE, right?
Yeah.
I gotta tap a couple matches. I need to investigate further, but she's a star for sure.
Okay, there we go.
Like she's
recently too, though.
Huh?
She just dropped a music video recently too, huh?
No, she was in one though.
Okay, that might have been what it was.
What do you feel? What do you think her political views are?
Who cares? What's the WWE's political views? Like, we're gonna go there right now. Like,
I was just asking.
Great answer. Great answer.
On Twitter, they tried to cancel her, and they
she went full Trump on Twitter.
No, well, she went full gun gun laws.
Oh,
You know.
I'm rocking. Big Star.
Hey, next person, man. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes.
Not stars. I
knew he was gonna say that.
These niggas look like grownish. Or like one of those.
They're all grownish.
People watch the show like and they're like, oh, the goons are coming through the door. It's these guys. Like, the E need to get more real niggas on the line. Like
what about? Here's one thing I noticed. The black wrestlers you are not fucking with. Why is that?
They not authentic to the black experience. Like they need to get. Where's the flipping crip? Like,
they need more Reggie. They need more Reggie.
I think about this. I've been thinking about this since way back. Like in the black community,
crazy.
Gang members are scary. We need those type of niggas to be wrestlers. Like we need somebody like.
My thing is though, Josh, if they were to get a gang wrestler or something like that, that would be problematic. People on like black people who like you got to remember like the black people that watch this are not the same as you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the black people watch this are very much scared of gangs like me. We all came. I just know for a fact that like these Street Profits and these guys don't look tough to me. The other wrestlers look tough, but these guys don't look tough to me. Like this nigga, he reminds me of like it might be Dickie Simmons. He kind of look like.
Come on now,
like somebody I've seen on TV before. Like,
oh man, people are going to hate this.
It's the nigga. It's the brother from one of these shows. It might be Grownish.
Yeah, it might be Grownish.
Like the brother from Grownish. We're here.
Blackish.
Like, niggas don't even wear their hair.
This is crazy.
Got the Malcolm X glasses. No, I'm straight.
Next person, man. Next person. Braun Breaker, son of Rick Steiner. He's the NXT champion.
Oh, I was going to say this nigga look like a Steiner brother.
He's a Steiner son.
Rick used to wear the little earmuffs.
Yeah.
I fuck with the Steiner brothers. I initially saw this and said not a star, given the outfit, but I see it's a throwback to his pops.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Star, man. You from Star lineage.
He is more than likely on the fast track to becoming a WWE champion in the near future. Like he's somebody that they see a lot in. He came right in out the gate and is one of the biggest stars on the Tuesday night show.
You gotta upgrade
the tattoo package. Well, remember Randy Orton had that bum ass tribal tattoo for like 8 years.
I'm about to say that's like Randy Orton. Like somebody else had that same tattoo, or it might have been Randy Orton. I'm thinking of that shit.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Like that's why I look at that and say, "You a wrestler? That's your only tat." Like if I was a wrestler, I would be tatted down. Like it's like, what else is it to do but get tattooed?
All right, we got one last one coming up. This might be a little controversial, but let's go. Let's get it. Mandy Rose, JC Jane, Gigi Dolan, Toxic Attraction, NXT Women's Champion, and the former NXT Tag Team Champions. Those are the two in the back there. What do you think?
They give it be like, you know, they're pop stars, I guess. Like they look like fucking Dua Lipa and fucking JoJo and some other girl. Like they look like a little pop. Honestly, if you took away the belts and told me this was like the new pop group, I'd be like, oh shit, okay. Like they come with some shit.
So stars?
Stars. I guess they stars. Like I got like wrestling attire. They look like they just hanging out. Like
well, I wanted to say that there was a wrestler who formerly was in the company. Her name is Athena, and she said that the company had a meeting about the women dressing with having sex appeal. And she said, well, I don't want to dress like a Mandy Rose because I'm about, all of this. What do you feel as though like these women are like, they're out there off the wall with it?
No, I mean, I think it's a spectrum. I don't, the wrestler you mentioned, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar, but I think she has a point. I think wrestling should exemplify the culture, and there should be people who look like this and people who look like that. And it's like, we could all coexist and fight and prove our points, but I don't think there's anything wrong, particularly with how they're dressed. They definitely are like heavy on the sex appeal. This looks like a promo shot for a new pop punk group. Like,
yeah,
it just looks like they about to grab guitars after this shoot. So like, this
chat
ain't sexy. I don't.
The chat wants us to do one more.
Yeah, we got to do one more. Hold on.
One more, Josh.
I'm down.
Yeah. Can we pull up this last one for the chat?
We'll try and finesse this very briefly. We're gonna bring up a person that is very favored in certain communities. Josh, we're gonna bring up whether or not you think he's a star or not a star real quick. We're gonna do this off the cuff real quick. Let's see if we can drop this photo in.
This is gonna be. They want to do two more. Okay, let's see. We can do it. This is
two more. Two more. Oh, and okay. Let's see. One second.
First one up real quick. So
1 second.
To do a recap here, Bobby Lashley not a star. Jade Cargill star. Rhea Ripley not a star, but in the club. Street Profits. Dawkins. Maybe not, but Tez, yes, he's a star. Austin Theory, yes, he's a star.
Street Profits are not stars. No.
What? You said that?
You said none of them are stars. You said he got a star haircut.
Yeah, he said Montez got a star haircut.
Okay, Street Profits not stars. Austin Theory
is Bianca too, right?
Yeah, Tez. Bianca is Tez's wife.
I've seen them in like regular clothes. He's not a star. That nigga had on.
Okay.
I was like, nah.
Orange Cassidy, not a star. The Undisputed Elite, half a star. Young Bucks, not stars. Wheeler Yuta, not a star. Nikita Lyons is a star. Carmelo Anthony and Trick Williams, not stars. Braun Breaker is a star. And Toxic Attraction, stars. We got that. We got that last picture queued up, MC.
You got it?
Right here. This is Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston, AEW.
Hell no, he not a star. Look at this nigga, bro. He just came out the crowd. What is that? I ain't even shot me, but he looked like the nigga that makes bacon, eggs, and cheeses.
The thing about him is, everybody said he's like an undercover cop.
Yeah, he's definitely not a star. Absolutely not.
Oh my God. Okay, one more. You got this
real
one.
brief. Yeah. Real brief. Let's bring up this last one here.
Swerve Scott from AEW.
You know what? Fuck it. He could be a star. He's not the most authentic to like a nigga on the streets. Like,
find another fit. Find another fit. Find the fit.
I can't find the fit with the jeans though.
Oh no, I know. Oh, you know what though? I know the fit you're talking about. I saw it on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on the fit.
Yeah, the Meelz, he's a star for sure.
That's not how it was in the Meelz.
He's a star. I know they wasn't the Meelz, but I'm just telling you, man. Like before niggas get on, they be looking crazy. Well, let him get a WC check.
He's about to be in your DMs right now. Trust me. He's like, yo, I got my music. Come on, man. You know.
Oh, he's about to definitely sell you his music.
That grill is crazy though. He need a new grill. That's like I see copper and I'm like leaning in and I'm like
oh man, that was I'm Not a Star with Josh Pease. Thank you, Josh, for joining in and playing this game with us.
Nah, thank y'all, man. This is a great game. I'm about to, I'm gonna steal this for our show.
As always, I'll plug this Black Print Radio tomorrow on AMP. We got a really awesome guest tomorrow, and also Black Print every other week. I'm crying. I'm laughing.
Crying.
I'm crying. I'm laughing so much. But it's anywhere the podcasts are. Thank you, Josh, for being on the show. I'll see you soon, bro.
Thank you, guys, man. Peace.
Thank you, Josh. Take care.
A show 250. I think a lot of people are going to be real upset at the last 30 minutes.
Bruh. I didn't see it coming, but then again, I never see anything that Josh says coming.
No.
It always just shows up.
It's a blind test. It's a blind test. We talk about a lot of fandom on the channel. It's a blind test.
We never do. The thing is that like, and people know from the show, this is me all the time. Blindsided.
Every week. I hear it every week.
I have no clue what he's going to say, what he's going to do. The swerve one caught me off guard. I got to show him a couple pictures. So he don't know.
After this, Swerve is about to say, like, yo, Josh Pease. Casey Burton's Josh Pease. Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Hold up.
Yeah, it's over with. One thing that we do on Patreon, and I've started just doing this a couple of weeks ago, it's called This Week in Wrestling. And so we have we have a couple of things that I found. I dug into the crates to find them. Let's talk about the first thing that happened this week in wrestling on August 2nd. The ECW Heatwave 1998. You want to know what matches are on this, Meelz?
Yeah, I want to know. This is very I guess timely, considering NXT pretty much stole the name.
Yes.
It decreased the swag, but stole the name.
I like the brand. That was a nice little logo they put out.
It's a friendly heat wave. It's not like it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
So on this card, you had Just Incredible with Jason, Nicole Bass, and Chastity versus Jerry Lynn. You had Chris Candido, R.I.P., and Tammy Lynn Sitch. You're going to jail. Versus Lance Storm.
Bass, the Nicole Bass.
Yes, the Nicole Bass.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but you also had a classic, an instant classic between Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome. If you have not seen this match, one of the most violent matches. Masato Tanaka had CTE the moment he walked in because they're just hitting each other with chairs, all types of stuff, but also timely for Masato Tanaka because Becky Lynch used his old finisher, the Diamond Dust, in her match at SummerSlam. And I was like, this is so perfect that we were going to talk about this on the show tonight. So shout out to Heatwave 98. That is on the network right now. Check it out. It's one of my favorite ECW shows. It also has Rob Van Dam and Sabu versus Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki, which is great. You had Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow, which is just a fucking crazy fucking match from start to finish. I'm a little bit lower on the main event, but I would definitely say to check it out. We should have did this for spot callers. I don't know why I forgot about the show, but yeah.
This card looks like the shows that like AEW tries to do.
100%. 100%. It's just in terms of just shit that they do on that shit. Like it definitely is a show that they try to do. Next up, that happened this week in wrestling. You had Death Before Dishonor 6 ROH August 2nd, 2008.
Come on, now.
What a fucking show here. Very timely as well because of Daniel Bryan returning to the ring this week. Did you catch his match? I think you liked that match on AEW last week, Meelz.
I did. You know what? I liked it because why did I like it? I don't even remember. I liked it just because seem to be focusing on new guys. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Garcia and stuff like that. I don't know if it needed to be the main event of the show, but it was certainly there. I didn't know if it needed all that blood, but it certainly happened.
This show had Chris Hero versus Delirious. You had El Generico and Kevin Steen versus the Motor City Machine Guns in a fantastic match. You had Naomichi Murafuji versus Go Shiozaki in a 23-minute match that was probably one of my favorite matches of that year. Austin Aries versus Jimmy Jacobs in the Necro Butcher, which goes about as crazy as you think it would. And in the main event, you had Nigel McGuinness versus Brian Danielson. I'm sorry. I'm never going to stop calling that nigga that. Claudio Castagnoli and Tyler Black, all future stars facing off with each other in the main event.
That's hard. Justin, let me ask you a quick question. Where would one be able to find this show if they wanted to view it in some sort of way?
That sounds super fire to be able to. I've never watched any Ring of Honor pay-per-views, but to be able to hear that Fatal 4-Way or that elimination match, whatever it is for the Ring of Honor title.
All of this sounds fire. I would love to be able to watch it.
Guess what? You can't. You had to be there, sir. You could try and find it through tape trading people. You could try and find it on eBay. It might be on there. But once those DVDs went out of print, they never came back into print. And that's pretty much where they stand. I don't know what Tony's doing with the library. I would imagine there's a lot of things that he would have to rectify in terms of music, in terms of commentary, in order to get these shows out there on streaming. But with ROH, who the fuck knows what he's going to do? I mean, I don't think that he would need any clearance to get any of the WWE stars there, but wouldn't it make a lot more sense if they could actually interact with this in some way, shape, or form? And I don't think that's going to happen. So it's just in the way that it rolls out. I mean, cards like this are really lost to time. And I put that on Sinclair as well. I put that on Ring of Honor as well. They had Honor Club. I don't even know if it went back that far. And if it did, Honor Club had a hefty fee to be able to listen to that or watch this stuff. It was like $100 or $150 or something like that in order to actually watch their back catalog. And no one's paying that. Like, you really have to love this shit to pay it.
I'm I mean, one day. I mean, all right. Well, we got a couple people who I don't want to incriminate them, but they might have ways to view it.
Oh, why not? Let's incriminate them.
Hey, if we have any donations, then please send those donations through the screening room on the A Show Discord. Wink.
Absolutely.
Last part of this segment, This Week in Wrestling, SummerSlam 1997, Heart and Soul, August 3rd.
Huge. This
Huge.
is the last time they call SummerSlam some stupid shit like this, right? Yeah, no, biggest party of the summer for mad years. I'm sorry.
I really think that this card, I used to really like this pay-per-view, and then looking back, I was like, oh yeah, they really did have Los Boricuas versus the Disciples of Apocalypse, and that 8-man tag match that was completely racist. And you also had,
man, listen, I remember this shit. First of all,
Legion of Doom having an almost 10-minute match with the Godwins, which, why is that happening? British Bulldog versus Ken Shamrock, a green Ken Shamrock.
He killed everybody after this match. I remember that part.
Yes, he did. It was just a strange way that they were even booking Ken Shamrock at that time to begin with. But the final two matches go down in history because they set the stage.
Hold on, before you get to those two matches, since we're talking about like these crossover stars, we're talking about the Logan Pauls, Ronda Rousey's, Brock Lesnar's. What went wrong with Ken Shamrock? Because he could have been a guy. Like, I feel like, especially, I mean, his contract ended, I want to say like early 2000, late 1999. Mm-hmm. I feel like he could have been a guy in WWF moving forward, especially during like the throes of the Attitude Era. Like, what do you think went wrong with Ken Shamrock?
Without knowledge of what he says himself, if I had to choose myself, I would say that I just guess it just didn't click. Like, everything didn't click with him. I don't think he was particularly really good at promos, so like that would have been tough for him in a time when everybody could talk. I think that I do know he probably used to hurt people a lot because he did it to Vader. And I just think that again, like, it just probably wasn't clicking. It just didn't feel like a good fit. I think the MMA to wrestling pipeline didn't really pop off until way later than this. Like, WWE obviously was ahead of the curve, but that pipeline didn't really make sense until like now, you know what I'm saying? Or like 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah, the real athlete thing was actually kind of interesting at that point in time, because they definitely did push Ken Shamrock as one of the first, if not the first, UFC champion ever, and yada yada. And then they had Dan Severn in, and they had Dr. Death Williams and all those real MMA fighters at that point in time, but they didn't really shine the way that it was when like an Olympic athlete like Kurt Angle came, and then you started having more real athletes beginning to come in, and we have the timetable that we do have now as far as like our real athletes, our track runners, our fighters, football players, like really dominating the sport right now. But back then it was a little bit different.
I mean, look at a Riddle now.
Yeah.
What did they have in hindsight, did they wish that they had given Ken Shamrock that personality so that he could have lasted a bit longer than the guy who snaps and is violent? Mm-hmm. That probably is, but where they were at the time, that's just where it was. But the last two matches on the show, very, very important for historical reasons. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Owen Hart. This is the infamous match where Owen gives him that fucking pile driver that Stone Cold told him not to do and misjudged where his neck was. Still really tough to watch it, to this day. Basically breaks Stone Cold's neck, but they still have him roll.
Paralyzes him too.
Yeah, nearly paralyzes him. And they still had him roll. Like, today, they would have stopped the match, right? They wouldn't have even just had Stone Cold.
Nah.
It's one of the worst roll-ups that you could ever see, as far as thank God Owen Hart stayed down for that 3 and tried any resemblance of trying to sell that, because it's one of the worst roll-ups you'll ever see in your entire life. But it's because Stone Cold's neck is hanging on by a thread right now.
Yeah. And then you had Bret Hart defeating The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels, of course, was a special guest referee. So you had two things that were building here. You had Stone Cold. I think that after his neck gets broken and he comes back and he does the whole thing where he's on TV, periodically complaining about it and being pissed off about it, that leads us to where we're going to get to. But we're also months away from what happening, and then Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels having their collision course. So a lot of things were happening here on this show that were integral to what would happen in the fall for the WWF and into the future. So really not a very good show, but I would say that main event was stellar to me. I thought that Brett and Taker always had really good chemistry, and hey, man, the rest of it just toss it to the side. But that was this week in wrestling. If you get Patreon, you know what I'm saying, you'll get that segment. I really like doing it. I like reading up and studying some of these old cards.
I like that you enjoy doing it.
But one more segment, and we're gonna get on out of here. Monday Night Raw, the first Monday Night Raw without.
How wild is it that Bobby is the main champion on Raw?
Not a star.
Not a star.
Not a star. Bobby Lashley, right here, front and center. First Raw without Vince McMahon. A lot of momentum coming off of SummerSlam. A lot of questions that needed to be asked, and I would say that a lot of them were answered, but a lot of them didn't need to be answered. Namely, being Bayley's new stable and how they affected the show throughout the night. You opened up the show with Becky Lynch coming out and announcing that she had a separated shoulder and seemingly or pretty much officially becoming a face again and becoming the man once again. Meelz, what do you think about this promo from Becky, and what do you think about the diagnosis and again, like I said earlier, the poeticness of her getting injured literally on a year, almost to the day of her coming back?
Right. I think you know what? It's crazy because there's very few moments that you can see kind of a very cyclical, well, not cyclical, but a full circle moment of character development in WWE. It's usually people have to turn on a whim because of, and I'm sure this is still like a response to things that are happening on the roster, but usually people have to turn on a whim. Like for instance, who's someone that just turned recently? Lacey Evans, right? You have to turn, it's not working. You got to turn on a whim. It's not really balanced. You see, this one is a lot more attributed to the character and kind of what she's been through, which is something rare for WWE. They rarely have those. They rarely tell stories of any kind of like subtlety or layered or anything of that. So I really enjoyed it because I was like, damn, this is like, she really like turned. I mean, this is kind of how it's naturally, the natural progression is supposed to be. And it'll be interesting to see how everything lines up because she's going to be out for a bit. I think a separated shoulder, it depends how severe it is, but I think she could either be out for a couple weeks or a couple months. But I don't think she'll miss WrestleMania. But she, I'm excited to see. Actually, this might have been a good time to cool her off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, especially we're now prepping 3 new women that came in the division. You would still have to dedicate time to Becky Lynch. This might be a good time to cool her off. I'm not saying that this was the best time to do it because Bianca and Becky versus whatever Bayley's calling her group would be absolutely fire. But we're gonna get that moment whenever it comes. But I really liked it. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, and I mean the story to end there, telling Bianca to hold it down for her. Really, really good moment. Again, like think about this run, man. I mean, Becky's best run, like ever.
I'm trying to think of the man run. This is the best. This is the best.
In terms of matches, promos, the story. Again, she comes back. You all love Bianca. I'm gonna make you love me. Well, fuck it. I'm gonna kill all your idols. I'm gonna kill all the people you love. I'm gonna fuck up Liv Morgan. She
had probably Lita's best. One of her best matches. I would say like top 3 best matches, but one of Lita's best matches.
She put Doudrop. She put Doudrop at WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, at Royal Rumble. She was elevating so many women. Like, there's no doubt to me that this is probably my favorite run of hers to in general. And now when she comes back, what do you think? Is it time for Ronda? Is it that time now? Because they're both flipped. They both flipped.
It's definitely coming up. So I can see that for WrestleMania for sure. They both flipped. I feel like we're heading on the collision course to that, so I could definitely see that happening at WrestleMania next year. Absolutely.
And another thing that happened on the show, we had 2 triple threat matches to determine the next contender for Bobby Lashley's title, his U.S. title. One thing about this episode, a lot of people getting chances and opportunities, but like a lot of people were made to look good. And that's what made this so enjoyable. You know what I mean? In the same way that you said, again, Dynamite put people in position. This put a lot of people in position as well, and let people know that, hey, like, Ali's still here and he can have bangers.
Listen,
Gable,
the average height of everybody in this picture who's contending has got to be like 5'10". You know what I'm saying?
but
Like,
it's the positioning. Like
that's what I'm saying.
I say this, like it like last night, it might be controversial to say this. People might say this cap. That's not true. It felt like a big budget NXT show. It felt like big budget. It felt like he had the pieces, because like NXT was a roster of rookies. He gets pros now. Like the playing field is larger. The playing field is way more like extended with him here. And he gets to play he gets to play around with a Bobby Lashley story, and he gets to play around with Ciampa, you know, being with AJ Styles. He like Triple H never got to book AJ because he never went to NXT, so he gets to book AJ now. You know what I'm saying? He gets to have that type of fun. He gets to book Seth for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be, you know, that's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Because I mean it was pretty much like Dusty and Regal at that time doing the creative over on NXT when Seth was there.
And it feels like they really got a chance to like kind of show out, especially like I'm thinking of an Ali, especially that finish between Ali and AJ Styles, which is like incredible. How did you feel about Ciampa kind of winning it all, and he's going to be the one to face Bobby Lashley? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like maybe it's too soon? Do you feel like because I'll say, in my opinion, I feel like not necessarily that it's too soon, but I still think the crowd isn't reacting to Ciampa because they don't really know much about him. There's not much to him. So I think they need to add those kind of elements to him to kind of make it where the people will be a little bit more towards it. Because you're going to put we're going to see Ciampa across the ring from Bobby Lashley, and we're going to kind of see how this really, really looks. How do you feel about Ciampa winning it all?
I say like what a night to be a couple of the people on the roster tonight. I felt like a couple people, whereas they would have been in limbo until another Big Four, because I feel like Vince booked Big Four to Big Four. You know what I'm saying? And like you might have got some shit that you wanted in between. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Ciampa might have been right there with it. But with Ciampa winning it all here, I do feel like you had some story threads there, and I think it's important that Miz kind of plays that position for him and puts him there. Like I've always felt that pairing him with Miz was a good idea. And to be fair, like for him to stand next to Bobby Lashley, huge guy. Ciampa, he a big dude for us, you know what I'm saying? But on the big lights and the big stage, it's gonna look crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna look. I don't know what it's going to look like. So it's up to Ciampa to not only get over this heel persona, but I think that, you know what I think he needs to do? He needs to grovel to Miz a lot more. Make him really fucking hateable. You know what I mean? He needs to be a lot more hateable than he is right now. And I think he needs to do stuff. I mean, maybe hit Bobby's knee with a pipe or something. Like it's simple shit he can do to get heat. And Ciampa knows how to get heat without. But the question is here, Meelz, is that does he know how to get heat when he's not beating up on Johnny Gargano? That's the real. You know what I'm saying? That's the real challenge here, and I think it's going to be interesting to see next week. But I don't think it was too soon. He's been there for a couple months. I mean, we've exclaimed on the show before he wasn't doing nothing. Now he's doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when they want to heat you up, they do it. I don't think he's going to win next week, but I think that it's gonna be the way they position and present him. They changed his music again. You know what I mean? Like they changed his music. It sounds like some like who's my guy Kevin Jones, Joe Gacy. Sounds like some Joe Gacy shit. You know what I'm saying? So like they changed everything. So we'll see how they position him next week.
I love it.
Another thing on the show, you had Bayley all over it. I don't know what I can't even skip. You know, I can't even skip over her. She shows up at the beginning of the night, hits Becky's arm with a chair, continues on through the night, interrupts Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. Bianca comes out. He says, "Yo, I want to fight," and then you get Io Sky, and Io and Bianca go on to have like a 15-20 minute match. What'd you think about this?
Seeing Io Sky on Raw, and I almost said Io Shirai, but seeing Io Sky on Raw is a dream. I feel like it's been something that I said this, you know, I don't know if I said it I did say it during the spaces. I was like, Io Sky could have been called up 6 months after she showed up on NXT, and she still would have been fine. Like she's been ready for a long time, and this has always been a dream for her. So I'm geeked just to see Dakota Kai and Io Sky on TV, to see Io Sky wrestle, you know, against, you know, just people on Monday Night Raw. I'm ready for people to like love Io Sky. That's kind of what I am.
I
Now,
thought in the beginning they were a little muted for her.
I think most people from a lot of these call-ups from NXT. I mean, it's why we see that there's weeks of maximum male model stuff before they even show up on TV, right? Like it's reason why we Ezekiel. Well, I don't want to say Ezekiel because he didn't really come from NXT, but it's the reason why Butch. I mean, he did, but not really. But it's the reason why Butch got the way that he was, like the entrance and associated, and it was weeks before he had a match. I think Io Sky. One thing I would want to see them do with this group is not just make them an entity or an extension of Bayley, but kind of give them their own kind of pieces. I don't want them to become Toxic Attraction-esque. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to become Mandy and the two other girls behind Mandy who do things. I kind of want them all to have their own, add something to this. But
I think they're too skilled. I think those two are way too skilled to be, kind of pigeonholed like that. Because I think like the barrier of skill with Mandy is probably a lot.
Neither. Bayley probably won't allow it.
Yeah, and I think again with Io, I want to get to Dakota in a second, but with Io, but the thing about it, I said they were muted at first, but once it started getting out there, they started fucking with it. I think once Bianca tossed her into the barricade, that's when people woke up and she got up, and you saw they gave Io a lot, and in that 15-20 minutes, Bianca gave her a lot too. And I thought that she looked like a legitimate threat. I mean, they set up the moonsault with the chair. Are we going to see that? You know what I mean? Like people were like, "Yo, what is she going to do?" You know what I mean? And I thought that was a really cool spot there. Of course, that we don't really get a finish there because a brawl happens. But one thing I want to say about this group is that we know Bayley is a known entity, a known commodity. Io Shirai is a known entity, a known commodity. Dakota Kai, of course, we know she was released, and now she's back. This is her chance, and to prove what people saw in her in NXT on this brand, because I think that she was rudderless on NXT after Raquel left. She had no direction. And I think this is a chance for her to actually show us who she is, because when she left, I said, "Hey man, it sucked that she got let go, but I don't know what it would have looked like on the main roster. Now I want to see what it looks like on the main roster."
Well, let me ask you something, since we're talking about the women here, because shortly before Raw, I mean, with this new era of Triple H, right? There's the rumors, now there's the whispers now that Sasha Banks Naomi could be returning, to the WWE roster. One, what do you think about that? And then two, gosh, aren't people tired of being wrong?
A lot of people down bad. I think like not knowing the Bayley, not knowing the extent of the Bayley thing is crazy. The Cody stuff from earlier this year was crazy. The Brock shit was crazy. The Sasha thing was crazy. And then now it's like, oh, I never said that they weren't trying to get her back. I was like, well, obviously, what? Huh?
Double down on the fact that they'd release Sasha Banks. Double bank, she was gone from the WWE.
Right.
And then when more things come up, like more things online, and this is how you kind of this is why I think, a lot of wrestling journalism caters a lot to the tribalism and stuff, blah, 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 blah. But you made essentially people believe that, and maybe it's on their own faults for believing it so hard and all this other stuff like that. But I mean, I didn't necessarily like that. I think we, and especially if you're in our Discord, we've always been under the assumption that they will be back. Because one, they're not released. Two, they're too hot of a commodity to be released. Like we just saw it with Mustafa Ali, where he requested his release, and it was like, nah, not even if you wanted to.
Let's work this out. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that there's a change of power with Triple H, it's even more likely that they return. And to be honest with you, I think Io Sky and Dakota Kai are the bait.
As they should have been, as they should be. There's a lot of potential there. Again, known commodities. You know what I'm saying? You got to get them with the bargaining chips. And in terms of how I feel about it, then it's fine. Like I wasn't a fan of both sides. I wasn't a fan of them walking out, and I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of WWE for doing that. My only thing is that like two of these things happen all the time in wrestling. People walk out all the time, and the companies always throw them under the bus when it happens. I wasn't a fan of it being like they're being targeted. I'm like, if they're targeted, Warrior was targeted. They don't ever stop talking about that in his documentaries. Stone Cold was targeted. They had a whole WWE Confidential about that. They will call your ass out.
They made a whole DVD for Ultimate Warrior. It's a bash
Exactly.
that sold that for $24.99 at wherever you can get your DVDs. So
exactly. Like they spared no expense to embarrass these people, and they did the same thing. And it's like I feel like people do get a little bit like sensitive when it comes to these two. I understand there's like a emotional connection there, but it's also like, you know, when you like step outside of yourself and you say like, what did they leave over? Oh, because they didn't want to lose a fake match. All right, bet. Like that to me, dealing with the shit I deal with every day, that ain't even the half. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the half. And dealing with shit that I know other people deal with, that's not even the half. Like they'll get over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll get over it, and they're gonna work it out. They should work it out.
I mean, I would assume they're over it now. I would assume.
Yeah, they got to be over it. Like, man, don't walk out, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, put your 2 weeks in, don't walk out, man. You get that money, you get that unemployment. But no, like I feel like again, if they come back, they're needed. They're gonna take their lumps for a while. I don't know if they'll get a clean slate or if they'll start to take their lumps. But you know, the landscape has kind of changed a little bit now that Bayley's back. You know, and I think that they probably need to be a tag team for a while when they come back. I don't think it's gonna be immediate Naomi, Sasha getting title opportunities because that was what was supposed to happen before. I think they need
champions when they come back. To be honest with you, I really do.
And they should. And I think that you now have a Doudrop and a Nikki Ash. You now got Dakota and Io. You could do something with somebody on. You could have Ronda and Shayna be a tag team on a SmackDown. Like you got my concern right now is that I love what they did with the women on Monday night, but it was really just focused on about 6 of them. Right? There's more on that roster, and Zelina's coming back soon. So how are they going to balance the time for all these women when some of them come off injured reserve? What are you going to do with Raquel? Where's Shotzi going to go? You have a wealth of riches. Triple H got some work to do. I don't know how. I don't envy the job he's got to do with these women, but they got a lot of stuff that they could do, and they got a lot of places they can go. You got Liv Morgan still as champion. Charlotte's not even back yet, Meelz. That's going to be its own thing. You slap her. Do you put her in a tag team? Do you make the tag titles more prestigious when a lot of these people come back by putting them in tag teams? That's tough.
Was Alina's thing injury related?
Yes.
Okay.
She had to get surgery, I believe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why she's been out. She's on the way back, I hear. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's gonna be tough. But I did like what they did with Bianca. I don't know if you saw this Meelz Raw record ratings 2.2 at one point. They did 2.4 million at one point. So it's definitely
a record, but it's definitely good.
Record since 2020. Hell yeah, record like not in our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? But like a record for where they at right now, 2 million.
In this post-pandemic world, like a lot of people have not bounced back, and they've managed to, at least they're trending in the right direction. It seems like from the show that we had last night.
There's never been a hotter period for this company, and that's where that popularity came from, and that's where that number came from. What else happened on this show? What's up, Eve, man? Thank you. What else happened on the show? What did I miss?
Montez Ford was for some reason wrestling in a singles match against Seth Rollins. I don't know why that was.
They planting the seeds, right, Meelz? What you think? I said this on Saturday. I didn't really touch on the Usos match. Huh?
It's definitely planting the seeds for sure.
What do you think? I'm gonna tell you right now. I think when they lost that last match, I said they need to break up.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no way to go about it now at this point. And I think I'm interested. I don't really want to see Montez versus Angelo Dawkins because I don't think it does good for any of. It's definitely detrimental to at least one of them, but I don't think it.
You know who it's detrimental to. Just go ahead and say it.
Absolutely. Well, it just is.
It's detrimental to Dawkins.
Yeah,
even in commentary last night, you got Corey just talking up Montez like he's like a blue chipper type, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he is, But again, it's like they're really laying it thick, which makes me think that it's not going to be Montez that turns; it'll be Dawkins that turns.
I feel like it'll definitely be Dawkins who turns.
Yeah, because he would need the heat.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. I always see those kind of feuds, and then what happens to the other guy, like in the long term? Like what happens to, let's say they do have this feud, they have a matches at the Clash, they have one more match or whatever October pay-per-view it is, and then the draft splits them up. So it's like, all right, so what do we do with Dawkins now? We have these high things in Montez Ford, but like we know Dawkins can go, but everyone can go. So fuck it.
Right. And they'll be back together in a year. You know, like
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, especially if it doesn't work out for Montez Ford, which I think everyone is very high on Montez Ford, but at the same time, he's been a tag team wrestler his entire run. You know what I'm saying? And the transition to singles wrestler when you're doing everything as yourself is not easy. It took the stigma for Edge to break out the tag team wrestler mold. It took a while for him to establish his own identity.
Like 4 years.
Yeah. Same with Christian. Same with, I mean, to be honest with you, with a lot of tag teams from the 90s and stuff like that, like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, like they really had to go like completely left to kind of get out that mold. And it's not as easy as it thinks, but I do think we're probably closer to a Street Profit split than we are them continuing this run as a tag team.
Is Christian one of the bigger outliers as far as being the second person to split and actually having a pretty decent career more than people thought, or is it more so Matt more than Christian?
Well, first of all, Christian has a way better career than Matt Hardy.
You just picked it. But the thing is that, like, in no disrespect, you picked the two Genettis out of the group, though.
Yeah, exactly. They probably had one of the better careers out of, like, I guess the other people that broke from a tag team and didn't really do much. Like Reverend Devon was not it.
They were definitely not it. They were definitely considered the Genettis of their tag team, but they still went on to have prominent kind of runs. Is there another tag team in history that we could say, or are they? Is it abundance? I think it's a very rare fact that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like who's the highest, who's the most successful Genetti, I guess you would say in that scenario. As we talk about Dawkins and what could happen if Street Profits does split up and he has a solo career.
And I honestly don't even know. It might be Christian, to be honest with you. It might be Christian already.
Christian or Morrison?
Oh, Morrison.
No, people thought Miz was the Genetti because Miz couldn't wrestle for shit.
Yeah.
And he ended up, I mean,
people thought that Joey Mercury was like the guy and Morrison wasn't it.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. People thought it was because he had been through a lot. DA says draft could split them up without a real breakup to avoid the fight. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be like a New Day breakup. Clean break. You could put them back together whenever you want to. The thing is with Tez, I don't want people to like. I feel like the social media and internet, they get so excited that when things don't work out, and there could be any number of factors why a Tez or a Dawkins solo run can work out. Timing, because right now they're saying future WWE champion. Who are you gonna beat right now in that upper echelon over Seth, over KO? Absolutely not. Like Tez would have to really get his lumps on the lower card before he gets up there. He would have to actually grind it out. I feel like people would get impatient, Meelz. I feel like they would get really impatient, and they would not be ready for him to learn how to become a single star. And I feel like that it's so ADHD right now, where it's like they don't want that long term.
I agree.
Like that's where, I mean, that's kind of in a way what happened with Big E, where it's like he had to transition into becoming a good champion. Obviously, his run got cut a little bit short. Like clearly, his run got cut short, but he was just finding that edge. He was going to be able to find that edge if he had been around still. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's a nice split if it is a split. But you had Seth Rollins versus Tez. They hyped up the fact that Tez was able to hold his own against Seth Rollins, and they had a promo after the show talking about they were tired of losing and they wanted something to change. No Riddle on this show. They're still selling the injury thing. They're really giving this feud some heat.
I think they said something with his uncle. There's some like a family member.
That was Theory.
Oh, that was Theory. Oh, what? Oh, you're talking about Riddle. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're giving this some heat. And listen, man, here's what I'm thinking. Seth brings up Roman. How do we get there if Seth was to get one of these titles? If they split them up after Clash?
Shit.
This is tough. Because at this point, there should be no reason why. Here's my thing. When Cody gets back, the hottest feud on this fucking show is going to be whoever Cody feuds with. And it's going to be the guy that he faced off with before he left, who injured him. It don't even matter that he lost 3 times. They're gonna run it back. I think there needs to be a title on the line for this. How does it get to Seth, and will he hold both titles?
I mean, there's a number of things. Someone could beat Roman at Clash at the Castle. If you're a betting man, would you bet on Drew to beat Roman at Clash at the Castle?
Yeah. If I was a betting man, I would pick Drew, and I would honestly, I think Theory would cash in on him. And Carter.
That'll be an insane pop out there if Drew actually does get it outside there. That would be completely insane. And if Theory, that'll be a round of boos, like a shower of boos.
But that's McMahon booking too, though, because McMahon, like Vince, likes to book these types of things and then send the fans home mad, but wanting to see what happens tomorrow. Does Triple H book like that often? We've never seen it.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of like NXT like title.
A couple of times Triple H throws some things once you see the card and you think the show's over, and then he throws you Ciampa throwing Gargano into the damn LED board, or Undisputed Era.
That's bigger than that though. That's the cash in. You got to hear his music and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so like, do you like Drew deserves this moment? So that's why I wouldn't do it to him there. But would I do it at like a rematch? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, would there be a rematch where they do that at Extreme Rules? Maybe because I don't think that even if Drew wins a Clash, that's over. I think they're going to run it back. Like, I would have. Here's what I would say: let Drew win it. Let him clear the feud with Roman. Theory cashes in on him. Does Theory get to have a Survivor Series title versus title match if that's the case?
No, he loses it right before.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, they always do that, right? They always have him lose right before. So have Seth beat the well, here's the thing: they can't have that this year because there's only one champion.
Oh, that's true.
They can't do it this year.
That's nasty.
They would have to have some. I don't even know how you break this shit up. It's tough. Like I have no clue. They're kind of in the corner here with that. Seth's got to get the belt at some point though, Meelz. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to. There's no way the Cody comes back and because the thing is if he beats a Roman, he beats a Drew, whatever, there's no heat there. There's no blood feud there. He has some real animosity with Seth, and him taking that from Seth means more. Like that shit's crazy to me that they got to figure that. I say this all the time. That's for them to figure out. But they got to figure this shit out. They have to, like Roman losing. He's taken every picture imaginable. He's done every photo out with them 2 belts imaginable. He held it up like this at 2, big 4 shows. They done got all the footage for his documentary in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's time to split it up when he loses. They just need to have Adam Pearce say, "Hey, powers that be said that the shows need their titles back at the draft, maybe." You know?
Mm-hmm. Damn. I feel. It's not me to figure it out. You're right. It's not for me to figure out. I don't care. They'll get there nonetheless. I do think it's interesting because now I'm trying to think of like what would Triple H do?
Because they got to close because Trips loves to close the loop on a story. That Seth Roman shit has been a loose end since January. Like that's Roman's only loss this year. Like it, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I don't know. I did think that it was interesting that Seth brought up Roman. I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. The Triple H tweet telling Seth that he hears him is more smoke to that fire. That relationship, that could happen. You know what I mean? That could definitely happen. But Raw was a good show. It ended with, oh shit, I forgot. It ended with the Mysterios.
Yeah.
Versus
Edge, regular ass Edge
comes out, says, "Hey man, I'm sorry. Listen, it's bullshit that he said. Now we all get what we want, or some shit like that. I was like, nigga, you wanted that fucking stable, bro.
The thing, this is really like sullying this Edge run for me, because one, I think this is the first kind of thing that like didn't work for him. Like a first gimmick to something that he obviously put some time invested in, some energy and creative energy into it, that really didn't work. And I didn't see it working from the beginning because of the inception of it. I thought the inception of it was all kind of like wrong. It didn't seem natural. He just kind of showed up and beat up AJ Styles one day, and then he kind of like transformed into this guy. So for him to just be like, I'm back to the regular guy that I was, I think it's like a little bit of a failure. It kind of reminds me of Austin's 2001 heel run.
Yeah.
The night after Survivor Series, he's just a face again.
I think Edge's run has really proved his mortality. It's like, I almost get senses of like this universe is telling him maybe you shouldn't have come back. You come back, you come back, it's COVID, you can't even have no crowd. You have that wonderful moment at Royal Rumble. They fuck your spear up, so they don't even see the first spear. That was the first, they bungled it from the moment he got there. COVID happens. He gets injured in the summer, and we supposed to have the hottest feud. When he would have had probably the hottest feud that summer if he had stayed, and they had to like kind of course correct with Randy Orton. Then you come back, you have three fantastic matches with Seth Rollins. You have the really good Roman match at WrestleMania. You got the main event WrestleMania again. So again, if his run did anything, he got the main event again. But then since this, it's like I just don't I don't get the sense that like Edge has no control over what he does. You know what I'm saying? So for him to say we all get what we want is crazy, because it's like you came back on some supernatural shit. Judgment Day was doing no supernatural shit. You know what I'm saying? They was doing like, y'all had stopped doing the disappearing act bullshit way before that you even cut out the group. So like it is weird. You know what I mean? It is definitely weird. But the ending of the show, we saw Edge come out and assist the Mysterios after they were beaten by the Usos. And really, really stiff kick from Damian to Dominic there too.
First of all, them Usos, if anyone need to come up off them damn titles, it's them boys.
It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous at this point.
It's almost 400 A's. It's like, bro, like, you dead ass.
That sounds like one's down talk to me. I like it.
All right, Mark. All right. But like, they're mini Roman Reigns. They're mini Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? Like, as ridiculous as it sounds, they don't lose to nothing. There's no more tag teams either, unless you want to put the Vikings against them again because they're heels again. You know, but I don't know who beats them unless I think they're gonna throw a tag team together to beat them.
Yeah, they probably are. It's probably gonna be like Edge and somebody, or or
what if Orton comes back?
Edge and Orton at this. Well, nah.
No, Riddle.
No, RK Bro. Yeah,
Riddle and Orton. Yeah. I mean, they might. Who knows?
There's a reason they still have them. But the show ends. Edge comes out, House of Fire, beats down on the Judgment Day. Rhea pushes Dominic into Edge's way, and he
pushes a very you're being gracious with that. Like, she kind of like nudged him in the direction of Edge, and he kind of like tripped. But whatever, it's Dominic.
So spears him, and apparently the nigga needed medical attention. I said, damn.
I was like, damn, get up, bro. Come on, man. It's a spear.
Finn got up in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Did he break a damn rib? What's going on? It's a regular Edge spear.
But I will say, the seeds being planted here. I thought it was weird when Ray brought that 1 minute anecdote up about Edge, about them being tag team partners and them being brothers, and then he gives his son the spear. Judgment Day setting up that rift between those two. I like it. I want to see what plays out with it. I think that it's a nice twist. It gives Edge something to do. I mean, I want to see where this leads. If it leads to Dominic, straying away from the Mysterio light, I think that's an interesting path as well. I want to see something here with these guys.
Rhea Ripley, evidently.
Huh?
I said Dominic versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, it's gotta happen. No, I mean,
there's gotta do something. She ain't look like she in the women's title hunt right now. So
well, because rumor has it that Beth is probably going to join Edge in this incarnation of him as well. So I think she'll have something to do. I think that her being the linchpin and like the chaotic member of Judgment Day, they need her. And if she was with Bianca, they would lose a lot without her. They gained a lot with her coming back, and I think that they gained a lot of what they are. So I'm honestly, I know it's another setback. I know we're really upset about it, or some people are really upset about it. But like, I'm okay with it as long as she does get that really cool moment with Beth. She's disrupting this Edge thing. She's the reason whatever feud's gonna pop off of this is gonna happen. It makes a lot of sense to me. I thought it was a really good ending of the show, honestly.
I think so as well. Yeah, it was really good. Something that leaves you wondering what the hell could happen next week, which is all I ask for TV to make me want to watch again.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's it. That is our show for today.
We got to figure these things out.
We got to figure this out. We do got to figure this out. So,
okay. So you know what? If you were on here, damn, people might have left.
If you was on here the whole time, or you at least to this point, I got a Biggie hoodie.
Everyone who said something in the chat, if you were an extra large,
are they all extra large?
No, of course not.
I think one of them is large. I have this might be large. Let's see. This might be large. This is large. This is for sure large. So I have XL and a large. So what we're gonna do is, if you were in this chat, I'm gonna scroll past the comments and all the other stuff like that, and yeah, we'll give them out. We'll give them out. Shit.
Yeah, anyone who was in this tonight, I got mediums. So if you're a medium,
yeah, if you medium boy, I got one large and a couple XLs. So if you an XL, you with me, and a large. I got one large, but I'll send them to you. No
fat nigga friendly. Get well, listen, man. Hey man, we sorry, bro.
Listen, these were sent to us because of as long put your size in there. I'll figure something out and we'll get them to whoever we need to get them to. Also, if you haven't already, buy the shirts. Pre-sale, still up, still live. Going to be available for at least another week and a half. So make sure that you cop the shirts from rncradio.bigcartel.com. Support the brand, support the merch, continue to support other Black wrestling podcasts just like us. Shout out to everyone who showed up and from Black Wrestling and Black Announce Table who gave us our props as well. Yeah, listen, I'm going through the comments. We're gonna pick out some people, and we're gonna send them to y'all. We're gonna DM y'all, so don't worry about it.
Hey, ain't nobody getting these mediums, man. I'm about to keep this.
Peeps, if you a bruh, if you want to be a bruh, bro, you up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Man, but thank all of you for this is our first live show, man. Thanks to MC for being the MC, so to speak, for this, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. This is I did not know StreamYard was this lit. It was not this lit 4 years ago. This is completely insane. And now a love chat dating site. Oh, see, they hear from me. Now I gotta go. I'll see y'all later.
Whoa, Tony Khan, get it. Tony Khan.
Here come Tony. Here come Tony.
Bro,
Quick block.
Yeah.
They gone. They gone.
Damn, that was crazy.
Gone. You tried though, Tony.
Hey, it's appreciate the Hornman, but as soon as you notice the Hornman bots came out when Mark started talking. But
you would give me props.
Listen, man. We love all of y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Sign up for our Patreon if you haven't already. This has been A Show 250 with myself and Meelz. This episode will be up as soon as possible. But yeah, we appreciate y'all, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right. Peace.